So the answer of this 19th question. So the question says, on the outline map of India, locate and label the following with suitable symbol. So there are 5 questions of the map based question. Two question, first question have 2 parts and second question have 3 parts. So there are total 5 points of the question. First point, ask a large state according to area. So in this, the large state according to area will be this area in which our A point is situated. And the second point is asked the Sriska Wildlife Sanctuary. And the answer of B part will be this area. And our C part asks Western Ghat. So the Western Ghat is situated at this area in where the C is indicated us. And D part asks Wular Lake. So Wular Lake is a flow in this area in which the D is indicated. Fifth, coastal plain called Coromandel. So this blue part is called Coromandel. So now move to our next question. Now our section B is complete. Now we are going to learn section C, political science of 20 mark. So question number 20 asks, which of the following is true with reference to right to freedom of religion? And A, every person has a right to propagate the religion he or she believe in. B, all are free to sacrifice animal or offering to supernatural forces or God. So the answer will be A is true but R is false. Now the explanation of this answer will be A. Right to freedom include the right to freedom of religion as well. Every person has a right to profess, practice and propagate the religion he or she believe in. B. Freedom to practice religion does not mean that a person can be whatever he wants in the name of religion. For example, one cannot sacrifice animal or human being as offering to supernatural forces as God. Hence, A is true but R is false. Now move to our next question. So question number 21 asks, how many seats are reserved for the SC in the Lok Sabha? So the answer will be option number B, 84. Explanation, currently in the Lok Sabha, 84 seats are reserved for the scheduled caste, SC. Now move to next question. How many members were there in Constituent Assembly that wrote the Indian Constitution? So the correct will be option B, 299 members. The explanation of this answer will be the assembly adopted the constitution on 26 November 1949, but it came into effect on 26 January 1950. The Constituent Assembly wrote the Indian Constitution has 299 members. Now move to our next. Question number 23 is assertion and reason type question. True, democracy means no one goes hungry to bed. Reason, democracy deal only with decision maker. So the correct option will be option number C. A is true but R is false. Explanation of this answer will be there are some ideal standard that all democracies must aim to become. True democracy will come to this country only when no one goes hungry to bed. Democracy is not only about people participate in decision making but has generated dynamic all thought. It is hard raw to hoy. It could always be aimed at. The assertion is correct but the reason is incorrect. Now move to our question number 24. What is it said that right acquire meaning only in a society? So the answer will be A. Just because we claim something, it does not become a right. B. It has to be recognized by the society we live in. C. Every society makes certain rules to regulate our conduct. They tell us what is right and what is wrong. D. What is recognized by the society as rightful become the basis of right. That is why the nation of right changes from time to time and society to society. Now move to our next question. Who are cabinet ministers? Answer. Cabinet ministers are usually top level leaders of the ruling party or parties who are in charge of the major minister. B. Usually the cabinet minister can meet to take decision in the name of Council of Minister. C. Cabinet is thus the inner ring of the Council of Minister. It comprises only 20 ministers. Now move to the next question. Why does the Election Commission have so much power? Is it good for democracy? So the answer will be the Election Commission in India is very powerful so that it is able to perform its function efficiently in a proper manner. This is good for democracy because only a powerful and independent election commission can ensure free and fair election by preventing malpractices and unfair mean in the election. Now move to the next question. Read the following statement about the Constitution. Give reason why each of these is true or not true. A. The authority of a rule of a constitution is the same as that of any other law. B. The constitution lays down how different organs of the government will be formed. C. Right of citizen and the limits on the power of the government are laid down in the constitution. Or the second part of this question is, why is preamble very important? So the answer of first part of this question will be A. Not true. Constitution is a supreme law. It describes how government is elected and the power right of citizen and their protection. This is totally different that any other law. Constitution is a supreme law that determines the relationship among the people living in a territory called citizens, and also the relationship between the people and government. B. True. The Constitution defines the role of the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary, and how they should be formed and by whom. C. True. The constitutional setup limits the power of government through different instruction and also take about the right of citizens as the supreme law of the country. The constitution determines the right of citizen and power of the government and how the government should function. D. Not true. The constitution contains all the value which the institution have to promote. The preamble to the constitution is a shining example of this and state clearly that justice, liberty, equality and fraternity have to be promoted. Secularism has to be followed and socialism and democracy should be the basis of the government. Or the answer of second part, that is, why is preamble very important? So the answer will be the preamble was adopted with the constitution in the Constituent Assembly It came into effect in 1950 along with the Constitution. B. The preamble is based on the objective, which were drafted and moved in the Constituent Assembly by Jawaharlal Nehru on 13 December 1946. C. It declares India to be sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. D. It envisages justice, social, economic and political for all the citizens of the republic. E. It ensures all type of freedom necessary for the individuals. F. It strives for quality of status and opportunities to all individuals and safeguard their dignity irrespective of their religious belief or section. G. It promotes a sense of brotherhood among the citizens. Now move to next. Read the following text carefully and answer the question that followed. Zimbabwe attained independence from white minority ruled in 1980. Since then, the country has been ruled by ZANU-PF, the party that led the freedom struggle. Its leader Robert Mugabe ruled the country since independence. Elections were held regularly and always won by ZANU-PF only. President Mugabe was popular but also used unfair practices in election. Over the year, this government changed the constitution several times to increase the power of the president and take him less accountable. Opposition party workers were harassed and their meeting disrupted. Public protest the demonstrations against the government were declared illegal. There was a law that limited the right to criticize the president. Television and radio were controlled by the government and gave only ruling party version. There was independent newspaper, but the government harassed those journalists who were against it. The government ignores some court judgment and have against it is a privileged judges have he was forced out of the office in 2017. The example of Zimbabwe shows the popular approval of the rule is necessary for the democracy, but it is not sufficient. Popular government can be undemocratic. Popular leader can be autocratic. If we wish to access a democracy, it is important to look at the election, but it is equally important to look before and after the election. There should be sufficient room of normal political activities, including political opposition in the period of before election. This requires that the state should respect some basic rights of the citizen. They should be free to think, to have opinion, to express these in public, to form association, to protest and take other political action. Everyone should be equal in the eye of law. These rights must be protested by an independent judiciary whose orders are obeyed by everyone. Now the question were followed that extract were. First, since Zimbabwe independence, which party has ruled the country? Second, how many Zimbabwe's constitution changed under President Mugabe? Explain it with any 2 points. Third, what is shown by the example of Zimbabwe? Move to the next page. Answer. ZANU-PF is the party that is ruling over Zimbabwe since independence. Second, any 2 points. President Mugabe has changed the constitution several times to increase the power of the president and make him less accountable. Public protest and demonstration against the government are declared illegal. There is law that limit the right to criticize the president. Third, the example of Zimbabwe shows the popular approval of the rulers is necessary for the democracy, but It is not sufficient. Popular government can be undemocratic. Popular leader can be autocratic. Now move to our last, that is economic of 20 marks. So our first question is about, in the secondary sector, which of the following is the most labor absorbing? So the answer will be option number A, small scale manufacturing. Explanation will be, small scale manufacturing is the most labor absorbing sector of the secondary sector. 30. Ramlal is a villager living in the Kacha house. He was not getting any work, leading to condition of poverty. Subsequently, a new scheme was launched in the village and Ramlal got the acquired work of 125 days based on the above case. Name the scheme launched in the village. VBG Ramji. प्रधानमंत्री ग, ग, ग्रामोदय योजना, रूरल एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन प्रोग्राम, और डी प्राइम मिनिस्टर रोजगार योजना. So the correct answer will be A, VBG Ramji. Explanation of this answer: VBG Ramji Act 2025 aim of provide 125 days of wage unemployment to every household to ensure livelihood security in rural areas. So the next will be, fill in the blanks. Poverty alleviation scheme objects. Answer will be A, creating self-employment opportunities in rural areas. Explanation: creating self-employment opportunities in rural areas. Next question: which of the following state achieved the highest growth rate in the agriculture during the Green Revolution era? So the answer will be option number B, Punjab and Haryana. And the reason will be, Punjab and Haryana state achieved the highest growth rate in agriculture during Green Revolution. Next question. Read the given table that shows some important feature of PDS in India. Read the data and selected appropriate option from the following. The answer of this question will be AAY, Antyodhya Anna Yojana. Explanation: AAY was launched in December 2000. Under this scheme, 1 crore of the poorest among the below poverty line families covered under a targeted public distribution system were identified. Now question number 34. Shyamlal is a farmer and is engaged in the cultivation of sugarcane. When the sugarcane is harvested, all his production of sugarcane is transported to Ramlal, who is factory owner in the factory. The sugarcane is converted into jaggery and transported to market from a scale to consumer. Based on the above case, identify the sector in which Ramlal is engaged. So the correct option will be option number B, secondary sector. Explanation of this answer will be, processing of this sugar cane in factories and produce sugar in a secondary sector activity. Now move to 35th question. Study the given figure carefully and answer the following question. So first question will be, which area country of the world had the largest concentration of poor in 1981? Second, name the region or countries which poverty has decreased. Any two. Whether the poverty in South Asia is increased or decreased. Give reason. So the answer of these three are: first, China; second, China, East Asia and the Pacific. And the answer of third part will be, poverty in South Africa is decreasing. South Asia is decreasing. In 1981, more than 50% of the population was living below the poverty line or BPL, but in 2001 it was approximately 30%. Now move to next question is, what is issue price? Correct answer will be point number A. In order to help the poor strait of the society, the government provide food grains from the buffer stock at the price much lower than the market price. This subsistence price is known as the issued price. B. It is very helpful to provide food to people during critical situations such as calamity. Now move to next question. So the next question is asked, how were the economic disparities responsible for the area in poverty in India? So the correct answer will be a huge economic inequalities. Huge income inequalities has been the feature of high poverty rates. B. One of the major reasons for this is the unequal distribution of land and other resources. C. Despite main policies, we have not been able to tackle the issue in a meaningful manner. D. Major policy initiative like land reform, which aimed at redistribution of estate in rural area, has not been implemented properly and effectively by most of the state governments. Now move to the last question, that is, what does unemployment means? What type of unemployment do we have in rural areas? Or describe the unfavorable effect of population growth in a country like India. So the correct answer of the first part will be A. Unemployment. Unemployment is said to exist when people who are willing to work at the going wages cannot find job. B. In rural area of India, seasonal and disguised unemployment exists. First, seasonal unemployment. It happens when people are not able to find jobs during some month of the year, maybe after harvesting time. People dependent upon agriculture using face such kind of problems. There are certain busy seasons when sowing, harvesting, weeding, and threshing is done. Second, disguised unemployment. In it, people appear to be unemployment. They have agricultural plot where they find work. This usually happen among family members engaged in agriculture activity. The work requires the service of 5 people, but engaged 8 peoples. 3 peoples are extra. If those 3 peoples are removed, the productivity of the field will not decline. The field requires the service of 5 people and the 3 extra are disguised unemployment. And the answer of same question second part will be the unfavorable effect of population growth in a country like India are first, illiteracy. Excessive population growth lead to less education opportunities available to the student due to limited educational resource available. Hence, a large portion of the population remains illiterate. Second, poverty. As family size became larger, poorer families go deeper into poverty because of the job opportunities which are limited and family income is low. Unemployment. Increase in popular causes and increasing in unemployment as more people are in need of unemployment as compared to the job available. Fourth, the strain on natural resource population growth leads to excessive strain on the natural resource available like fuel, vegetation, water, mineral, etc. Fifth, food storage. High population cause higher pressure on agriculture production besides people are not being able to get an adequate supply to food. And last, storage of housing. Due to high population growth, people are not able to get proper place to live. As a result, they are completed to live in a slum area. So the video is end. So guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please like, subscribe and share our channel, and we are continue our lectures in the upcoming videos. अगर आपको ये एक्सप्लेनेशन हेल्पफुल लगा हो तो लाइक, शेयर और सब्सक्राइब करें। एग्जाम से पहले इसे दोबारा रिवाइज करें और 80 में से 80 का लक्ष्य आपका भी होगा। Sign off. Keep learning, keep leading. I am Ayush Mishra. See you in the next video. So, bye bye.